Mayor KMC, of course, being the focal man in the preparation for the whole July 26th. And of course, it is in his area that most of these events are going to take place. So he definitely is key. That's why the Senegalese delegation will go to see him. We'll go and visit the sites where these things will take place. They will go to the minister. And then before everything culminates into the balloting itself, the main draw, which will be at the stadium. And that's going to be nice. So basically, every other thing, that's been prepared remains the same. And, partners and people watching out to come are allowed to progress as it is intended. So it's just going to be, like you said, this is a major event. NISA has been staging interdepartmental sports throughout the Gambia, but this one has taken on a new dimension in the sense that for the first time it is going to be staged in the Gambia. And since the Senegal workers are involved, it is now international. It has become now a duty for all Gambians to try and be identified with NISA this time, to ensure that not only did we put up a good performance, but we leave a good impression on the minds of our visitors, that is the Senegalese.
The last time I hosted you in the panel, you talked about some constraints with regards to the hosting of two regions and the 50 journalists that are coming from Senegal. How far?
Well, that still remains a constraint and a constraint and a constraint, and then I believe divine intervention may come our way. Possibly, this is the situation, because definitely we are stuck by having two regions unattended to. We know very well that each of the four companies are going to take 3 regions, which is 150, to accommodate them, not to feed them, but to accommodate them. That's the basis. Now, if the 4 companies take the 333, it will be 12. We'll be left with 2 regions unattended. Up till now, we've not got any sponsor, even though we have been talking about it and all those kind of come and said we solely would help to host 50, maybe 1 region for you, and another company comes to take care of another region, 150, because the 2 regions, each region with 50, we're talking about 100 people. Now, even the 50 journalists that Grts are sponsoring, because they sponsor that event, the journalists, Gambia journalists versus the Senegal journalist match. The issue now is fine, they've sponsored it, but if those people cannot be hosted, then it will appear that that event may be called off, because definitely we cannot take the risk bringing them only for them to be not attended.
In other words,
so we're hoping that people out there would just come to help, to be on our rescue, to help sponsor those events for us. But we're very grateful to GAM Petroleum that comes to sponsor football, and then lawn tennis by Social Security, and Scrabble by GAM Post, and the journalists versus the journalist football by GRT. We have the match pass would have been, it's an event. There's marathon, volleyball out there, cycling. There are a host of events, about 9 that are not sponsored. So we're praying and hoping that Gambians would come on board. Equally, the euphoria in Senegal is that they love the country and they want to be part of it. They want to be part of the celebration. It's when you call them, they're telling you that definite, and then up till now, the news have not broken there that we're going to defer this because they all want to be part of the celebration. They like our president. They feel that this is the president. They can associate themselves in terms of celebration. And like I emphasized the last time, if Senegalese are coming forward and said they want to be part of the celebration, which is the most important calendar in our celebration, in our Gambian this thing, we hope Gambians will reciprocate and then come along with that one. But we are very much constrained by a number of factors, and we're hoping that sponsors out there would come on our board, come to our rescue. Yeah.
Mr. Chan, you wanted to come in?
Yeah, well, I was going to stress on the fact that, yes, 12 regions. In Senegal comprises 14 regions. Now, all of them are participants in this Workers' Day sports, and all of them are coming to Banjul. Okay, but because they are competing with 4 of Gambia's best representatives in this company, which is the Army, the Immigration, GAM Petroleum, and the Civil Aviation Authority, it is arranged in such a way that any Gambian team that found itself in a group among the Senegalese, you automatically accommodate those Senegalese. So in that case, you see that there will be two which are not in the football, but they will still need to be accommodated because they are going to take part in other disciplines. So they will still have to have an accommodation. That, in addition to the journalists who are coming to play against us. So in other words, right now, sponsorship for accommodation is being sought for three groups of three categories of people. That is two regions and a group of journalists. So this is what is left in those areas. In the sporting aspects also, there are events that has been outlined here by Mr. Jaju that are still yet to have partners. Now we have outlined here the last time the benefits of associating oneself with these sports, because like you said, it's going to be an event that will attract publicity both in the Gambia and Senegal. And there are businesses or companies who have business interests that they would love to, to spill over the border. Now, if you get yourself associated or your company with the events, these media sports, which rather this sports event, which actually comprises both Senegal and Gambia, you obviously have a very good opportunity to have your products or services known across the border. So that's why it's very important. Quite apart from the general fact that this is a national event. It is the one, NISA is the focal point when it comes to, sporting events among workers. And they have a big cooperation with Senegal, the Senegalese Workers Federation. Now, this makes it international and a duty upon all Gambians to make sure that you're embraced and do your best to take part in the event so that we give a good impression that we are organized. And yes, Gambia is well known for organizing sports events internationally. I've been involved in cricket, the quadrangular cricket, Zone 2 football, you would know. Last time we hosted back in November 1997, it was hugely successful. Then the 2005 African Nations Cup under 17, we all know what happened here. Even the July 22nd of the same year prior to the championship was well attended. So the Gambia is known to be very, very good and very enthusiastic in hosting events. So this is going to be no less, an important event. Yeah. It is going to be one that is going to be left here, and we want to drive it and write it in our history books that yes, we hosted the NISA Sub-Regional Sports Championship, and it's still been talked about in Senegal as one of the most successful events. Yeah. And this is why we are here, out here, to reach the people, sensitize them on what is coming, and for them to know that this is a national event. Obviously, if somebody doesn't understand the message, he or she would like to sit on the fence and say, yes, I know some people might be there who will say, okay, how is this going to play the Ramadan approaching? That has been the feeling of many people. Yes, you people are talking about this event. Yes, fantastic. It looks like it's going to be one big occasion. But the Ramadan is approaching. July 22nd is first or second day in the Ramadan. How are you going to do that? Now, thankfully, there has been an official proclamation that this year's event is going to be low kids in respect of the Ramadan, which means, of course, things in this kind of, things that are organized along these lines will also have to be deferred. But it only means that there will be more time for planning, more time for people considering to partner with the event, to plan more, and more time for the publicity in Senegal and the Gambia to get momentum. So this delay of the actual event taking place might be, in fact, a blessing in disguise. We're going to find out more on Monday when the Senegalese come. More details will iron out. Probably people will have to have a gist of the days on which the championship will kick off. But it's obviously, it's almost certainly going to be after the Ramadan. Yeah.
Well, I'm one of the guys wondering about the tournament coinciding with the Ramadan, because obviously I'm going to play for the journalists. So yeah, but I was worrying if it has to be in the Ramadan, it would be very difficult for
but fullers, you will disappoint many fullers, because fullers are known to be very good in fasting, and that won't spoil their daily activities. No, so you're going to disappoint your fullers.
Well, I've not been training, so playing in the Ramadan now would be very difficult. But during my heydays when I was playing football, I don't mind.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, coming to the, organization of this championship. The main objective of NISA basically is to promote worker sports, is to ensure that we have foster relationship among Gambian workers, and then encourage physical fitness, because all work and no play make Jack a dull boy. So we want to avoid that. We want to have our Gambian workers very active, very